अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज हम स्टार्ट करेंगे सेकंड आयोनिक फिलोसोफर जो कि एनेक्सिमेंडर। हमारे पास हमने थेल्स पढ़ लिया था जो था फर्स्ट आयोनिक फिलोसोफर, और आज हम सेकंड आयोनिक फिलोसोफर स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं जो कि एनेक्सिमेंडर्स। Anaximander, second philosopher of Ionic school of thought, is Anaximander. He was probably born about 611 BC and died 547 BC. It is said that he was a disciple of Thales. It is said that he was a student of Thales because he was also a philosopher and come after Thales, so it is considered that he was a student of Thales. He was famous for his astronomical and geographical knowledge, and in this connection, he was the first to construct a map. He was the first person who first time construct a map, as Thales has made the ultimate principle of things material. As Thales was a materialist, we had studied it in the last lecture and gave a name water to that material. But Anaximanders don't specify any one material. Anaximander just said matter is ultimate reality in his book On Nature. On Nature, his book, which is not now exist and not his remainings are found, but in his book On Nature, he said that matter is the ultimate reality. His matter was characterless and formless because there are a lot of matters. If we see iron and gold and and etc. But if Anaximander said that material or the matter is the ultimate reality, then definitely a question arose that what matter is ultimate reality. Meaning there is no specific name for that matter, so he said that his matter was characterless and formless. No specific characteristics and no specific form of his matter, so there are no specific name of his matter. He called the matter the boundless. Simply just he called his matter as boundless. Here the Anaximander ends and we move further towards Anaximenes. Anaximenes, like Thales and Anaximanders, he was also an Ionic philosopher. He was born about 588 BC and died about 524 BC. He wrote treatises of which small fragments still remains. He also wrote books whose small fragments are still known, and like previous two philosophers, he said ultimate reality is a material and he called it air. He also specify a material which is the ultimate reality, and he said that air is that material which is ultimate reality, and from which everything is come into being. He said like Anaximander that there are innumerable words. Anaximander said that there are countless words, and Anaximenes also believe in that there are innumerable words exist. He said Earth is a disk floating on air. As we have studied in the last lecture, that Thales also said that Earth is a disk floating on water, but now Anaximenes as ultimate reality air. So he said that disk floating, Earth is a disk floating on air. But now a lot of question arose here. That there are a lot of matters whose quality is different from air. If we see around us in a universe, we see a lot of matters, and definitely their properties are different from each other and different from air. And Anaximenes said that ultimate reality is air and everything is come into being from air. And if air is ultimate reality, then why the qualities of the matters are different from air? So at that point, if we focus on his theories, we see his theories of Anaximenes. So if we need to focus not quality but quantity. If we focus on quality, there are many different matters with the different qualities, but now we need to focus on their quantities. He said condensation and rarefaction. He said that everything is came into being from the condensation and rarefaction. As condensation process compress air, mean decrease the size, and that's why rarefaction is the opposite process. In this way, quantity changes and different matters came into being. Now, if we see the models of Anaximander and Anaximenes, which they gave of earth or the universe. If we see in this diagram with the heading Anaximenes, we see that RK. There is written a word RK. RK is the air, and according to the Anaximenes, rarefaction, after the process of rarefaction, fire is come into being from the air, and after the process of condensation, water is formed from the air, and then after again condensation, different matters form from the water, and further condensation cause different materials to come into being. Now we see the model of universe of Anaximander. Anaximander gave an interesting model of universe. He said that in the center, earth is a cylindrical shape, and there are air, sun and stars around the air present in the hollow sphere. It is a hollow sphere whose center is earth, and earth is cylindrical formed, and we are present on the top of that cylinder. Now there is solid sphere around this space. Solid sphere has also holes from which we see others things present in universe or heavenly bodies outside the sphere. Now we move toward other Ionic thinkers. There are also other Ionics, but they added nothing new to the teaching of these three. Main three Thales, Anaximander, and Anaximenes, and other all Ionics followed their theories. For example, Hippo was a philosopher who followed Thales and said that water is ultimate reality. Idias followed Anaximenes and said that air is ultimate reality. Now we see the concept of RK. RK means the supreme element which can start or endure or ultimate start or end. RK is a divine reality of everything. RK is a term which was first introduced or first discovered by the Anaximanders. Anaximander was first time said that air is RK, and after this all philosophers used this term in their philosophy and set different RK and for the universe, and set different matters from which earth come into being. If we see a review of those three philosophers of Thales, Anaximander, and Anaximenes, then we come to know that those three were Ionics, and all three were materialists, and their material is different, but they all believe that this world is came into being from a material. And that's it. Now we learn about now our topic, the Ionic philosophers, ended, and we have learned about Thales, Anaximander, Anaximenes, and other some Ionic philosophers.